Welcome to the Bayonet's Countdown to November, a series of interviews with the candidates in the November 4th election. I'm Joseph Norris, and with me for this segment is Debra Davis, Incumbent Commissioner for Charles County District 2.
Yes.
And welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You've had one term in, so I guess folks know who you are now. Tell us a little bit about the things that you see in Calvert County, and Charles County, excuse me, I'm trying to get my counties straight here, in Charles County that are important to, that folks should know about, that they should be concerned about in Charles County.
I think probably the most important thing is that Charles County needs to decide who we are. I think I've heard people refer to us as schizophrenic, or we don't know whether we're rural, whether we're ready for development, whether just who we are. And all too often we go back and forth. Depending on which election you're at. But what's really important is that 60% of our population travels out of here. 60% of our population have a reduced quality of life because they have to spend 2 and 4 hours a day on the highways just to make a living. So we have to address that. And that's important. And so we have to find that balance between helping our 60% of our population, our voting population, and balancing how much we protect our environment and how we protect our environment.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about the need to bring economic development to Charles County, and y'all are having a big economic development summit tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes. What do you hope to come out of that?
Well, I hope that we're able to tell the business community that we've been good stewards, that we do have a plan, we are moving forward, we recognize how important economic development is for the businesses in our community and the businesses that want to come into our community.
And really to the residents too, because like you say, 60% of your population is going up the road.
Yes, we've got to create some job growth right here in our county. That's one of the ways that we can help create a better quality of life for our citizens.
Now, what do you think you've gained and learned in your first 4 years as commissioner? I guess that's a fair question.
Yes, I have learned a lot. You know, I did know, I've been in leadership positions before. I did know not to make any promises because you don't know what you don't know before you get into office. I'm experienced now. I know that part of being a good leader is making the tough decisions, risking being unpopular. Making the tough decisions for the majority of the community. That's what I know now. And you know what? And I always say to anyone that I talk to who wants to go into leadership is stay true to yourself. You know what you believe. You know that you really and truly believe in what's best for the entire community. But stay true to yourself. There's so many people pulling you from end to end, from side to side, who have individual goals or individual reasons for wanting things to be their way, and just staying true to yourself I think is the most important thing.
Yeah, and that learning curve, I think a lot of people don't realize when you get into how much your time is pulled away, because you're attending meetings, you're attending conferences.
I sit on several boards. In the county, outside of the county, I sit on several boards, and that's really exciting. And being the face of Charles County in Annapolis, in Prince George's, in wherever we go, being that face is really important. And you mentioned the learning curve. It takes a good 2.5 years to even get to know what your role is, what you can do, what you can't do, what's important, how to connect all the dots, getting to know the staff.
And all of those issues that come before you, my Lord, you're constantly inundated with land use development.
Oh my goodness.
There's one thing after the other.
Yes. And you know, my experience as an attorney, it has helped. My experience as an attorney, as a mediator, I have tried very hard to make sure that I keep an open mind. And I have no problem with changing my mind. As the facts change, as the people change, as as I learn more, I have no problem with that. And it's been good. And I also, attorneys are always held to a higher level of integrity. So I take it really personal when people question my integrity, because that's the one thing, the one thing that I hold really, really dear is that is important. And among attorneys, you really don't want your colleagues ever to have to question that. I'd rather not answer than just tell you that something that I don't believe to be true.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of contention about the board. Or do you think you work well with the other members of the board? I mean, it seems like the small, short time that I've been there, there've been some contention.
Yes, it's been pretty contentious. It's been pretty obvious that it's been contentious. And how many times have I heard that the board doesn't get along? But I challenge anyone to look at the people, the persons. Well, how about me? To look at my record on speaking out when I lose a vote, criticizing someone for not voting with me. I mean, I think it's very important to note that I never did that. I never criticized another commissioner for not voting with me, for not agreeing with me. What's the sense of having diversity if you don't consider everyone's opinions? And I've been very good at that. I've stayed true to that. And there have been commissioners who haven't, and you know who they are, and the citizens know who they are. So it's not that the board didn't get along. It's that some people had different values, different views about collegiality. That's really important to me. I have never attacked another commissioner for any reason. My family knows how I feel. But outside, I have never done that. And that's really important because as a leader, people follow suit. Civility is a big issue in Charles County. It's a big issue. And when your leaders are acting uncivil, then it's like an excuse for you to be uncivil also. We've had lawsuits, and we still have lawsuits, and I've had bar complaints against me, acting as a commissioner. I've had people try to take my law license. It has been serious stuff. But I'm hoping that's one of the few things that would be on the top of my priority, that we've got to create a kinder, gentler government, a kinder, gentler way of dealing with each other's differences. I really think that's important.
Now, you talk about big issues. One of the biggest this year was the budget.
Absolutely.
And it was so hard. I know that the staff worked tirelessly to try to trim that thing down, but it was a monster. Where do you see the county going forward? How are we going to help turn that around?
We are going to have to be bold. We are going to have to revamp that budgeting process. The idea that certain organizations can influence the budget, influence the pocketbooks of the average citizen for their pay raises, for simply their pay raises, is remarkable to me. It's absolutely remarkable. We're going to have to figure it out. And the bottom line is, we have to do better by our teachers. We have to. We have to do better by our teachers nationally. And there's no doubt about that. We have to do better by our teachers. Everybody agrees that law enforcement and public safety is number one. But you've got to draw the line somewhere. We've been balancing the budget on the backs of real property owners. We can't continue to do that. And everywhere I go, people are screaming, taxes are high, you gotta reduce the taxes. And I can't do it by myself. I remember the day that we raised real property taxes to the second highest in the entire state. I have the tape. I said, you know what, you guys, if we pass this, we're gonna be the highest of any county in the state. And people to my right said, that's not true. I'm like, I've got the chart right here, and it says we're going to be the highest. And we just blew it off to give salaries to people. No, that can't be the reason. That can't be the reason we do it. And you know so much. And it's so hard to convey that to the citizenry, all the different things that we're balancing. Our sheriff's department is very well paid. If I told you that over 1/3 of them make over $100,000, would you be surprised?
I would be very surprised.
Over 1/3.
That's wow.
Over 1/3.
That's a big wow.
Yes. So public safety is of big importance. I make no bones about it. But we cannot just pay people and balance it on the back of the average citizen. You just can't do it.
Okay, so for your upcoming campaign in November, if folks want to volunteer or help out, you have a website?
Absolutely. Citizens for Debra Davis. .com, right? Yes.
Okay. All righty. And we want to wish you the very best of luck in November.
Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate this time.
I appreciate you taking the time to come down and visit with us today.
All right.
Thank you.